and this is my strengths in action talk for the evening. And I want to kind of start things off with a little bit of fun. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, we'll go ahead and begin. I wanted to bring these two images up of the Flint Hills because I think that there's something important. There's something important about landscapes and kind of the whole grit resiliency of the Flint Hills. Every year, of course, we burn the Flint Hills, and then all of a sudden, life comes back greener in more nutrient-rich pastures. And so I get the fact that many of you are probably missing K-State. You're missing the Cons of Prairie, and the picture there to the left is what the prairie looks like right now. But in a couple of weeks, it is going to be as green as it's ever been before. And so I'd like to title this "I Wish, I Will," and we'll get through that a little bit. But I've been thinking a lot about the Flint Hills, where we live here in Manhattan, Kansas, and there's something cool about Flint rock. On one hand, it's solid, and we need a lot of strength. We need a lot of people to be solid right now. But at the other hand, right, it's also Flint. It's sharp. So what does it look like to not only be sharp but also be a solid foundation? And I think we'd like to be sharp of mind, really, really knowledgeable. And yet, while we want to be strong, we also know that rock crumbles. And so what does it look like during this time when we're on lockdown with COVID-19 to still be willing to show our cracks, to show our faults, and to be vulnerable with one another? Because at the end of the day, I believe that when we show our cracks, when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, there's tremendous amount of strength in that. And so, K-Staters, I just want you all to know that, gosh, you rock. Since we're talking about rocks, you rock. And actually, I went down to the farm today and spray painted "You Rock" because I wanted a picture of you rock. And so, K-State, you do, you rock. Now, moving forward, I gotta throw something else out there for you. Y'all ready for this? No, I was not ready for this. Nor was much of the world ready for this. But we're figuring it out one day at a time. And while we figure it out, while it's very, very serious, we also can think about how it is that we're leveraging our strengths during the time of a pandemic. So, why the long face? We've got strengths, we've got agency. How is it that you can play to your strengths more often than not, and still find a space to where you can thrive? I took this picture of Coop. Coop's one of the horses that we've got out at the farm. Coop is the epitome of resiliency and grit. Coop has been in more catastrophic accidents than any other horse we have out here at the farm. Coop ran his way through a fence, and he had stitches. He cut himself up. Coop actually got caught in a cedar tree. He put his head in there to eat some bark, and then all of a sudden he got spooked. And when he jumped back, his head didn't turn the right way, and he got caught. Coop has been through a lot. You've been through a lot. But what is it that you could do to leverage your strengths? My strengths are woo, communication, positivity, adaptability, and maximizer. And I'd like to just share a little bit as to how I've been leveraging my strengths through the transition. And the first transition was moving from a space, a class like this, to now all of a sudden a class like this. And I want to go back to this picture because this picture, gosh, this is Town Hall. This picture was taken prior to spring break. And look! You can see Ashley in the picture. You can see Joe. You can see Lynn. You can see Ken. If Ken's there, I bet you Allie's sitting right next to Ken. You can see Eve. You can see Lily. You can see Paloma. I miss you all. Look, Jackson's in the back with his Chiefs sweatshirt on. I miss you, and I miss my students. My students give me a tremendous amount of energy to do what it is that I love to do. Teach leadership education and to help students find their full potential in leveraging their talents, their strengths. Gosh, I miss this space, and I so wish I could be back there. I wish that I'd have an opportunity to reconnect with my senior seminar class who's here online right now in this example. This is my new reality, right? Sitting in this room right here and trying to deliver content in as meaningful way as I possibly can, leveraging my strength of adaptability and still thinking about my maximizer strength. But I got to tell you, gang, I'm getting tired of my own Zoom image. And I actually found from one of our strengths peer coaches, Ayana, shout out Ayana, that there was this thing as virtual backgrounds that you can include in Zoom sessions. And I was like, whoa, I so wish that I could have a cool background like Ayana. Where this story is going to is I've caught myself saying, I wish. I wish it could be like it used to be. I wish we didn't have to go through this. I wish I didn't feel the highs and the lows that I'm feeling by being isolated out here at a farm all by myself, feeding horses. I wish. And then it finally came full circle to me. I was on a Zoom call with one of my former students from last fall, and I really respect this student. He's now an RA, a resident advisor at Kansas State University, and actually, I guess not a student last fall, but a year ago, actually. And so I was in a conversation with the student, and he said something that really has stuck with me for the last couple of days. He said, Mike, I just wish I could have had closure. I wish I could have had closure with my residents to tell them that I care about them, that I appreciate the relationships that we've built together over this past year. He just would have liked to have had closure. Gang, all of you would have liked to have had closure, right? Nobody signed up for leaving for spring break not knowing that you would not be able to come back to campus and engage in the same meaningful ways that you did for the first 8 weeks of the semester. But I kept playing around with this idea of, I just wish I could have had closure. And I started to think, let's stop wishing and let's start willing. What would it look like to say, I will, as opposed to I wish? And so I've been playing around with this concept a lot, trying to leverage my strength of maximizer, trying to leverage my strength of woo. And I thought, you know what? I will find out how to change a virtual background on Zoom. Woo-hoo! Gang, this is me rocking and rolling with the cat sign out on Anderson Lawn. This is me in front of Leadership Studies building. I miss our building, but I'm not going to wish that I was back there because I can still be with my colleagues and with my students in a meaningful way. It's just going to look a little bit different leveraging technology. Oh, this is just Scout. This is my dog. This was just kind of fun. And so I'm challenging myself to say I will. I still will connect in meaningful ways. I still will leverage my woo, leverage my positivity, leverage my adaptability, leverage my maximizer during this time to still do what it is that I love to do, connect with students. Yes, it looks a little bit different, but at the same time, gosh, look at everybody's smiling faces. Everybody's smiling. They're happy to connect, and people need right now to connect in meaningful ways. So my hope to you all is to simply play to your strengths more often than not. Find creative ways to play to your strengths so you can be thriving even in this new transition. And I love music, y'all, so I gotta send you off with a little good vibe as we get rocking and rolling today. Oh, you turn out fine, but you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, I know it's hard. No, it's hard to remember sometimes. You gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey. So, gang, keep thriving, keep playing to your strengths day in and day out, and check in with each other. Make sure that people's well-being is as good as it possibly can. Be there to support one another. Leverage your strengths more often than not. And hey, we're Kansas strong. We're Flint Hills strong. We're K-State strong. Be solid. Be sharp. And gosh, just keep being you. Over and out.